Whalawhalahi atu hane te walatali tupu he lau tau niwe galata moe ngā hone. Whakamua kua whaihiki tua e te whale tupe whakatu whanu ki ngā hua I lalo hefo he tahani e matakau pulinga hua e ka mata mai he whahita pukamale. Koe matahiku he tau kamale ne whailoa he whakatu whanu e tau amana ki anga nei koe tahani tau hiki anga fōu he whakatu whanu. Koe whale tupe asi hake ne koe whakamudapatua e ki he tau whakaroanga fua ki tau tupe kai tā lafa mai tau whahi pisnisi mo whakalaulahi pa ki tau matangahua asi hake. Ke waki koe Niuean Commercial Enterprises Limited koe e sini he whale tupe Kiwi Bank ne koe fua ki ati tau whakaroanga whale tupe mai whakaongang he tau tangata. Koe mana koe whakatu whanu ke whakaholu ki mua tau whakaroanga tau whale tupe ne kua pule ki ai. Koe tā tangata ne koe whangahua ki tau se tau hikianga ko Angela Tuhepa ko fitani he oe mahena ne ngahua whalataha mulaua e tau ngahua mai he NDB moe NCEL. Pehe mai tahe tau talahoanga tau whakatu mauni e tau whale tupe nei ke ngahua ki tau whakaroanga whamahani ki ai kai manako ke lalafi ke whakamalolo e tau puhala whale tupe mai tau tangata ke matutaki atu ki mua ke he mga honei tau mauni e tau ngahua halo tolu ne ko ngahua I ke NDB moe NCEL kai to hokway e taha mahala ke ngahua ulai alo tolu I lalo hefo po ke ki loto he taha ni e whale whakateitai ki ai koe ofisa ni taka e Kiwi Bank mga honei. Koe taha ni he tau mena koe hiki ai koe matakau puli ngahua ke liwe ki atu ai ke te whale tupe. Koe tau tangata ne kua nanofua atu ai ke he board ko i takitaki ko Ian Fitzgerald ko lo tole tau directors ko Aida Talangi he kesi Avi Rubin, Michael Jackson mo Doreen Siatanga. Nā kaila moa ia e tangata ka pule po ke takitaki lahi mai tau whale tupe he motu hane whai whakosiosi tau whakatutalanga ia. Kua whai lakaanga fōtua e matangahua he taonga niwe ke nāta me tau koloa mahuenga mo I tau taonga he motu tahe matakau mai he te Papa Museum hani silani ne kua hoku mai ke langmatai mo I whakatutala mo I tau matakau he motu ke tau pohala kua mai ke ngahua kau whalataha. Koe whanuanga he aho nei ni kua moa mai te manatu mai tau tangata hangao ke he lahi tau taonga ni kua hake he motu mai koe hinga e tau ena ni kua lati ke mai lang he tau tangata kua mahuenga mo taonga ke tau mumui he tau tangata niwe. Taha ono anuanga whoki hangau ke he lawianga ke tālanga e taha whale mo toka e tau koloa mahuenga mo I tau amana kianga ke whakaonganga he matakawia. Talahau me he takitaki ulunga hoa he taonga niwe ko e moera ene tama koe whakamua lai ane he te pulotu me he te papa ni ko maike ke ngahua ki whawhi New Zealand ke lali ke langmatai to ngahua ke lewe ki mai puipui e tau koloa mahuenga niwe. Ko hoko mai whoki e tangata ni ko amanaki ke whakatokatoke tau palana ke lata me tālanga he kaina po ke whale toka koloa ke mai ke ia ke kisia tam takawi ni ko anoonu ke toka ia whale koe whale mena whoki ni ko lata ke iloa mahino mo I whakatutala whakahukolo to mai ke kamate matangahua lahi nei ko lali ai whoki ke mama e tau whakaonganga he kaina nei mo I tau puhala ni ko mai ke whakahua whakamtaki he tau ahu I mua. Falafla you're listening into Radio Sunshine's news bulletin for today. Firstly, the process to merge both of government's financial banking institutions is in progress with the confirmation of a common board as of the 1st of May. The two entities that are the Niuean Development Bank that specializes in loan facilities for businesses and development purposes, whilst the Niuean Commercial Enterprises Limited is the agent for Kiwi Bank that provides commercial banking services. Government says that the logic behind the amalgamation of these entities is that they are both government-owned and there needs to be a more cost-effective way to providing banking services to the people. They have contracted a project manager for the transition, and Angela Tuhepa has been working closely with the managers from both establishments over the past 2 months. The Niuean Commercial Enterprises Limited and Niuean Development Bank will continue to operate as two separate organizations, but will combine their resources to deliver a more consistent banking experience for customers, as well as becoming more cost-effective and sustainable in the long term. The changes mean that the two organizations will have one board of directors, and the day-to-day management of both entities will be undertaken by a common general manager. Initially, the current staff of both organizations will retain their positions and be trained to work in both organizations eventually. Eventually, they will share one building. That is likely to be the current NCEL site. The Common Board is made up of the chairperson, that is Ian Fitzgerald, and directors include Aida Talangi Hekesi, Avi Rubin, Michael Jackson, and Doreen Siatanga. The position for the Common General Manager is currently being finalized. Taonga Niue's vision for the development and preservation of Niue's cultural heritage is making some headway with potential assistance from the Te Papa Museum. Years of discussions for the construction of a new museum on the island has now taken a new twist, and the need to rethink the strategies to ensure that the final result is the best outcome possible. The Niue Cultural Heritage Initiative project is going through its first phase, and in a short presentation today, the team from Te Papa were able to provide information about the support they can provide, and their work includes meetings with some key stakeholders to scope the size and nature of museum collections. Also arriving with the team is the architect who will be managing the project to design what will be more than just a building to store cultural and historical artifacts. The aim is to understand the functions of the cultural centre and what will be required to deliver and determine an operational model that may work for Niue. Now looking at our news stories from the region, the European Union's ambassador to the Pacific says the only way the EU can lift restrictions on Fiji is if it is allowed to carry out some sort of assessment of the elections. Andrew Jacobs says they haven't received a formal invitation from the Fiji government to send observers to the planned elections in September. Jacobs says they've been talking with Fiji about how they can provide support to assess the credibility of the elections. The Melanesian Spearhead Group will be sending observers, while Pacific Islands Forum Secretariat says it has not been invited. The European Union ambassador for the Pacific says a plan to lift visa requirements for travellers from 10 Pacific nations still needs to be negotiated with each country before it comes into effect. The EU has amended a regulation which means nationals from Kiribati, the Marshall Islands, Micronesia, Nauru, Palau, Samoa, Solomons, Tonga, Tuvalu and Vanuatu will not need a visa when entering the Schengen zone. UNICEF says it's boosting its efforts to increase the herd immunity against polio in the Pacific in response to the WHO's declaration of an international public health emergency for the disease. The Chief of Health and Sanitation, Naawa Sipilanyambe, says the agency is aiming to extend its childhood immunization programs to reach every child in the region. Meanwhile, the World Health Organization says its current international's warnings on the spread of polio are a timely reminder to immunize children and travelers. Fiji's Attorney General Ayasayed Kayam will not resign from his post as Elections Minister despite calls from political parties to do so following his appointment as General Secretary for the proposed Fiji First Party. The National Federation Party joined the chorus, saying the Attorney General compromised his position as Elections Minister when he accepted the post with the proposed party, demanding that he steps down if the September 17th elections is to be perceived as free and fair. Meanwhile, the Fijian Elections Office will incorporate the handling of disabled people in the training of polling officers ahead of the 17th of September election. Speaking to Fiji Live, Supervisor of Elections Mohammed Sanim said officers should be able to handle situations involving voters with limited abilities. Sanim added they have also plans to engage a consultant who would work with the forum and office in assisting with the voter education materials. He further says people with disabilities will be assisted by presiding officers in the presence of an elections officer when they cast their votes. Leader of Triumph Heritage Empowerment Party, Don Pollier, will continue to boycott Parliament sessions until the Speaker allocates him a seat in the middle benches. This is despite the ruling People's National Congress Party making it very clear that Pollier is no longer needed in government. Pollier said they picked on the leader of the party and singularly said that we PNC decide what we think it's good for the party leader to sit in opposition and the rest of the party sit in government. Marape said he is a close associate of Pollier outside of politics and has assured the Kandep MP that all his new entitlements for development programs in his electorate will reach the district. The European Union looks forward to Prime Minister Peter O'Neill's visit to Brussels in July. This was announced by the Director of North-East and Pacific European External Action Services, Dr. Gerard Sabathil, during the first political dialogue held in Port Moresby on Tuesday. The discussion, which was attended by many from the diplomatic service in PNG, covered various subjects ranging from government priorities, the Bougainville referendum and climate change, to future cooperation between the EU and Papua New Guinea trade, investment and sustainable growth. Dr. Sabathil said the second meeting will be held next year in Brussels and they will build on the significant trade aspects that PNG currently has with the EU. Australian soldiers who have been moonlighting as security guards at offshore immigration detention camps, including Manus Island and Papua New Guinea, are quitting their jobs and heading home. But military authorities in Canberra deny they have ordered the men back to Australia. The Immigration Department did not answer questions about whether it had intervened in the wake of April's story, but issued a statement on behalf of its Minister, Scott Morrison. The government and other stakeholders involved in the LNG project have been cautioned by the Bank of Papua New Guinea not to raise too much expectations of windfall revenue inflows in the first year of production. The governor of the Bank of Papua New Guinea, Loy Bakani, issued this warning in the bank's quarterly economic bulletin from December quarter 2013. The company has also trained almost 140 operations and maintenance technicians to operate the Hides gas conditioning plant and the LNG plant during production. Competition in the mobile phone industry is good and healthy for the market, says regulators. The Information and Communication Technology Regulator, National Information Communication Technology Authority, has welcomed the inclusion of the fourth mobile phone operator, Oldwell Telecommunications Limited, in the country. NICTA said currently Digicel has the upper hand in the mobile phone market because it has infrastructure established throughout the country. And the President of New Caledonia's Southern Province, Cynthia Lagarde, has ordered immediate suspension of operations at the Vel nickel processing plant at Goro after an estimated 100,000 litres of effluent ended up in a creek. The spill contained some acid, but it's not immediately clear how strong the concentration was. The provincial government has sent a joint mission with the Environmental Authority to the $6 billion plant for an evaluation of the spill. It's the fifth such spill in 5 years at the Goro plant. Vale has confirmed that there's been an incident but has given no details yet. The French High Commissioner, the President of the Territorial Government of New Caledonia, as well as the mayors of the municipalities of Montedore and Yate have been advised of the spill. And those are our news stories from the region as well as our local news bulletin here on Radio Sunshine for today.